It's Rob and Lizz in the morning, his radio.
So it happened over the weekend, and I don't know why she was in such protector mode, but our golden doodle, Charlie, she is almost 6 years old, never done this before, but I was down at the pool. So hot. And I'm like, you know what? I'm diving in. And usually I don't because I try to keep my hair straight. Or, without chlorine.
Sounds like she doesn't get her hair wet.
I don't. I try not to get my hair wet, but I did. I was like, I am just so hot. I need my hair wet, everything. So I dove in, and as I came up out of the water, Charlie was on the side of the pool just, and looking at me like, I'm going to jump in and save you. So then I had to test it. So I get out. I know.
Of course she does.
I can't help it. So I crawled out. And then was walking toward the diving board again, and she grabbed my wrist, not hurting me, just sort of like pulling at me.
So you wouldn't fall in.
To keep me from going to the diving board. Okay, so I jump in again, and then I go back to the diving board. This time she gets in front of me and puts her paws on my chest to stop me. I get on the diving board. She goes around and gets in front of me on the diving board, so that I can't dive in.
Look at this.
I mean, I don't know what the deal was.
Protecting mama.
But from what? I mean, I didn't get it.
You probably looked like you were hurt, and she didn't want you to hurt again.
Well, maybe, because maybe I pretended just a little bit, just to see what she would do.
I knew it. So you put her in that protective mode.
But I didn't at first, but then I was like, is she trying to protect me? And then she is. And so I was like, okay, I can't do that anymore. I don't want to stress her out.
I mean, Scott has cats, and his cats protect him.
Yeah, no secret. I don't like mice in the house. We were in one of our houses a number of years ago, and our cat, at the time, walked up had a little mouse in her mouth. It's like, here, taking care of you. And we got rid of it, but very protective.
You got rid of the mouse, not the cat.
Yeah.
Or got rid of the mouse, not the cat.
Okay,
right.
It could have been a gift, too.
Yeah.
Well, they say they do that. Cats will often bring you something they have hunted as a gift, but I told her, I said, I don't want any more of these gifts. Thank you very much, but that's it.
Enough with a gift. Ninja has a dog that's very protective.
Yes, our dog, Silas. He'll bark at things and growl at things through the window, but as soon as the people come in, he's like, oh my gosh, you're my best friend, I love you forever. And so I don't really know if he'll actually protect us if it comes down to it, but he sounds fierce.
Well, and that's half the battle right there, is just keeping somebody away from the front door and thinking they can get in.
Oh, yeah, because both of my dogs sound ferocious when somebody's through the front door. I never have to worry about an Amazon delivery person, because as soon as a box is placed at the front door, Ranger and Lucy, both my dogs, go nuts.
Well, Ranger has that really deep.
Yeah.
I mean,
very deep voice.
I would not try anything with anybody in your family at all.
Yeah.
Because it really, Lucy, yes, she barks, but Ranger's the one that sounds menacing.
Liz, I think I know what your dog was protecting you from. I think you didn't wait the full 45 minutes after eating.
See, because you'll get a cramp.
Yeah. You know what? I didn't wait the full 45 minutes. Is that a thing anymore?
So I have a Boykin Spaniel. His name is Milo, and he is very spoiled. He sleeps on a pillow above my head at night, and periodically he will get in a full stance with the deepest growl. And I wake up. I see absolutely nothing, but apparently he does. It kind of creeps me out. But he's in full protection mode.
I wonder if he heard something outside.
Could be.
Because their ears, they can hear a lot of things.
Oh, from far away, so maybe so.
Yeah, if the bush outside rubs up against the window, my dogs go ballistic.
Right, and it's like, come on, but then you'll have a car drive by and they just sleep right through it. So, Yeah, Robin texted. She said, here's the deal. I was at home, and there were some guys that came to work on the gas line. Her golden retriever went ballistic. She didn't understand what was going on because the dog had never acted that way with anybody. But as she had a conversation with the guys, she found out one of them fought pit bulls. And she looked at the guy and said, no wonder this dog wants to eat you.
Wait a minute. One of her dogs fought?
No, one of the guys that was coming to work on the gas line, he evidently fought pit bulls, which is not good. When you try to pit dogs against each other. Fight.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
So she realized what he was doing, and she's like, well, no wonder.
And this dog
Figured
sensed
it out. Well, I mean, dogs are so intuitive. That's why they're service animals. They can,
True that.
Smell a drop in your blood sugar or a change in your physical being, and they can alert you to it. So I'm sure he realized, okay, there's something going on with this guy.
Right.
Maybe not that specifically, but something was off.
Sense something.
Yeah.
Yeah. Huh.
Robin, you got a good dog there.
Rob and Lizz.
His morning crew.
Bailey is an artist, and she was hired to paint a wedding, which I've never heard of, but sounds so intriguing. So she's sitting in the back of, the church, and she's painting the pictures, the portrait of the bride and groom.
That is unique.
Isn't that neat?
I do like that.
Yeah, I do too. So she's in the middle of her sketch or whatever, and all of a sudden she notices, what's that smell? What is that? It's smoke.
What?
The bride's dress has caught on fire.
How?
So I guess from like the Unity candles or something like that, this was after they were pronounced man and wife, and they're coming back up the aisle to leave to go to the reception, I guess, and the dress catches on fire.
That's horrible.
And I hear this is not really, everybody's okay. Nobody was, the dress was harmed, but
but they got the fire out immediately.
They got
it sounds
the fire
like.
out, and she was able to finish the sketch. And I do wonder, did she add the flames to the sketch? Because it is part of the day. Made it memorable. You'll never forget that one.
Okay.
But from what I understand, this happens more often than you would think because of the candles. People are nervous, maybe as you're going down the aisle. I've seen where at the end of the pews, they have candles, and typically they have the hurricane glass around them.
Okay.
But I mean, if you bump into it,
I guess.
well, you could, catch a guest on fire.
Well, they caught a little glimpse of it. I just saw, and it's like the dress almost went poof.
Right.
The flames are so big you could see it off in the distance, but nobody was hurt. They were able to get that out,
right.
which is good.
But I mean, that type of material probably would go up pretty easily. But at least everybody that was there, all the guests, can say that wedding was lit.
Hi, I just heard your story about the bride's dress catching on fire. We did have the candles and hurricane lamps in our wedding. I think my wife took 2 of them down on the way in and a couple more on the way out. And the last picture from the wedding itself was her head catching on one of the lamps and her head snapping back as we walked out. It was truly a hot wedding.
Oh, saw what you did there.
Oh, no.
A hot wedding.
Oh, no. That had to have been scary.
I know, right?
Oh, my goodness. Yeah. So no open flames, right?
Not anymore.
Rob and Lizz.
His morning crew.
It's Rob and Lizz in the morning, his radio, that travel scammers are up by 900%. 900%.
How do you scam somebody with travel, I guess? Just selling them an Airbnb that doesn't exist or you don't own?
For anywhere from social media to the phone calls that come through to the emails, all the stuff is coming through that you don't know what's real and what's not.
And you just wonder, how do you get sucked into this kind of thing? Most of the scam calls that I get, my phone will even say scam risk or spam risk, don't answer.
Hey, if it comes from a phone number that I have no idea what it is, I will not answer. Yesterday, I was getting this text. It was the weirdest thing. It was a number I didn't recognize, and all it was a question. Hey, are you available to talk right now? It's like, can I call you? And I'm like, I don't know who this person. I'm like, who is this? I don't know you.
And then they get you on the phone, and I guess they're expecting to get someone that's not going to.
Well, what they did with me was I don't know you, and then all of a sudden I get this response quickly giving me a job offer.
Oh, like a bot.
And I'm like, what makes you think I'm looking for a job?
Right.
And then they give another pitch right after that, ignoring everything that I say. And I'm like, my last reply was, blocking you.
Bye-bye.
And I blocked the number.
Oh, my God. Well, and then it's centered on travel. I mean, it makes sense. They've timed it well because summertime, we want to, travel.
Oh, the whole traveling thing. Yeah. 900% when it comes to scamming is just crazy to think.
No, I can't imagine. You save for your vacations, you dream about it. It's hard to sleep the night before, and then to maybe cash in your airline ticket and it's not there. I don't know how they're scamming, but.
Well, you get all these deals that are too good to be true.
And if they sound too good to be true,
Yeah.
You would think that they
And if it's a
are.
great deal and they're pretending to be an Airbnb, I go straight to the source. I'm like, well, I'm opening up my Airbnb app to see if this is real.
For real. Don't
know?
and if anybody contacts you, that to me, that's a red flag.
100%.
If I'm looking for something, I'll come to you. Don't you worry.
Hey, I work for a sheriff's department, and there is a thing called spoof. They can use a different person's phone number, so you might think you're getting a phone call by somebody that you know, and even your own phone will be calling your phone number. Also, if you have a department that calls and says there's a warrant for your arrest for not showing up for jury duty or anything like that, no, we're not going to call you and tell you that we have a warrant. They will automatically come pick you up.
I've had that. I've literally had that call.
No.
Yeah. I don't believe it.
Yeah, I wouldn't think they'd call you because somebody's got a warrant out for their arrest. You call them, they're probably going to not be at home.
Right.
So you can come pick them up.
I don't know if you heard the news, but it's like travel scam is up by 900%. Not 100%, not 10%, 900%. That sounds so crazy. Something happened recently, I think it was recently, to Scott's dad.
Yeah, he came in for my daughter's graduation last month and booked a hotel room. And when he went to check in at the front desk, they said, okay, well, the other party, a member of your party, it looks like will be arriving a little bit later. And he said, well, there is no other member of my party. And apparently someone had somehow tied in a reservation under his name, of course, billed to him for an extra room in this person's name. Ooh. And they said, no. He said, no, there's no one else. So they cleared that up rather quickly. But I think they got to the point where they were digging around and found out the guy had made they had gotten the last names mixed up. So there was another Watson, that had made a reservation. But I thought that was pretty, you want to make sure that when you make hotel reservations, you double check that there's nobody else trying to tag along with you and make another reservation, on your account.
And how would you have known unless they would have said that they didn't say anything?
Well, when they slip that bill up under the door and then it's like double the cost. And what is this? Cheetos and Milky Ways and
Rob and Lizz.
His morning crew.
They've been sending out 15 billion of these, and I think they were all at my house this week. Amazon, getting rid of those air pillows that they package the boxes with and try to protect the things that you've ordered. They're going to change that. And I have complained a lot. And, I go to Amazon quite a bit. But when I get the boxes in, I'm like, why are there 47 boxes filled with all these old packing pillows? They're the great big, it's almost like bubble wrap, but they're large.
Yeah, really huge, filled with a lot of air. I know exactly what you're talking about. They named them appropriately because they kind of look like a little pillow.
They kind of do, and if we could take them and make actual pillows, put them inside a pillowcase and really, use them, it'd be one thing.
So they're phasing them out?
They are, because they're like, we're trying to protect the environment. We're trying to, make some changes. So now they're going to use this paper that I think is easier to maybe decompose, possibly. So that's what they're going to do.
Maybe it's recycled.
Maybe. It could be. I hope so.
Yeah, because I don't see how they're protecting the environment if they're going to just put paper in there.
I know, just change it. Now, at least they're not using like the packing peanuts, the little styrofoam, because that would be either or. But I do think you're right, Rob, about the recycled paper.
It could be. I don't know. That's just a guess on my part. Yeah. Just thinking about Amazon, that could be recycled paper.
Yeah. And I would think if they're going to make this huge change, and I'm sure it wasn't cheap to make this change, to get rid of something you already had.
While Liz is like happy about it, I think Scott is a little sad about this move.
Am I going to be able to pop this new stuff? Because I love to pop the bubble wrap. I just pop. I love it.
Yeah. And
Can I pop this?
And again, it's not bubble wrap they're getting rid of. It's those bigger, like pillow-like things. It's just these puffs of air in this plastic bag.
Okay.
Yeah.
But they more go like when you jump on them or something,
Yeah, it's not as spectacular.
No.
You'd think it would be loud so you can scare people.
If you could like ball them up and get several at one time and just jump and boom, 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 boom. That would be awesome.
How does it work?
Wait a minute, hold on.
Do that again.
Rob and Lizz.
His morning crew.
Lily King has just secured herself to go back to the Olympics.
That's so cool.
So she's going to be in Paris doing the 100 and 200 meter. She was at the Olympic trials in Indianapolis. And I think 2024 is going to be her year that she will never, ever, ever forget, not just because of Paris.
No.
But because when she got out of that pool in Indianapolis, something special happened.
Yeah, so all of a sudden, so she's in her bathing suit, right? Because she's in an Olympic trial as a swimmer. And she looks at her boyfriend, and he's dressed up. And I guess he doesn't normally dress up like this to come to the Olympic trials to watch her. And so she thought, well, that's weird. And then he pulls like a small box out of his pocket, and he gets on bended knee and pops the question.
She said yes.
Yeah, still in her bathing suit. Thankfully, she took a little swimmer's cap off. And she's like, yes.
So she's getting ready to get married.
Yeah.
And going off to the Olympics. What a year for her, huh?
Oh, very much so. And hopefully she doesn't think about planning anything to do with the wedding until after the Olympics.
Right.
Because, you don't need to be stressed out right before the Olympics. You're already stressed about that. So, but congratulations to him.
Rob and Lizz.
His morning crew.
It's Rob and Lizz in the morning, his radio. So Liz finds out, because she lives out in the middle of, I don't want to say nowhere, but you're in a rural area.
Yeah. Oh, sure.
And there's bears that sometimes show up in her neighborhood. And by golly, they did yesterday, or at least one. And who went on a bear hunt?
I did.
To search for one just to capture a picture of it? Liz Riles.
So I get a call last night. It was around 8 o'clock. Answer the phone. It's one of my neighbors. And he said, hey, I just wanted to let you know there's about a 200-pound bear that is making its way down the road toward you guys. And they live about 2 or 3 lots over. He says he's in the trash can right now of their next door neighbor. And so I'm on the phone, but I am steaming toward the front door. And my husband's like, oh my goodness. So he follows me. My son hears us talking about it. He comes out. We jump in my husband's truck and we go down the road. We weren't going to go walk down the road and look for it.
Thankfully, at least they have those brains.
But we did roll the windows down.
I feel like if Joey didn't get the pickup, that Liz would have went running down there to try to take a picture.
No, I wouldn't have run down there. I mean, I am cognizant that it's a bear.
Yeah.
And he can harm me. But I was thinking about just getting in my car and taking off down the road. No big deal, being inside. So we found him, and he was still at the neighbor's house. He had knocked over the trash cans, licking his lips. He was going at it, just whatever he was finding in there.
But you didn't get the video of him eating the trash.
Well, no, because when we pulled up, and he's got a trash bag kind of in front of him, but as we pulled up, he kind of went towards a tree, almost like he was going to climb it. Like he was a little nervous.
He was hiding from you.
A little nervous. And then when we just sat there, and I think he realized we weren't going to be aggressive or do anything, then he sort of chilled out, and he just sat there. But he looked
waiting
young.
for you to leave so you can go eat.
Oh, well, sure.
Rob and Lizz.
His morning crew.
Those silly things, I don't know if you get in a squabble or a silly argument or a debate over with somebody pretty much close to you. If that ever happens to you, love to hear about it on the open mic and our His Radio app.
Yeah, it happens at our house over the sheets.
What do you mean?
I like to pull the sheets on the bed all the way up, the comforter all the way up, then turn them down, have the pillows, fold that, the sheet and the comforter over the pillow, and then sort of tuck it in up under.
Okay.
And then put all the decorative pillows, right?
Yeah.
My husband will stop, don't do it, no, it has to stay. So he wants it pulled all the way down and then put the pillows and no folding up over the pillows.
Oh, that's interesting. I never have that argument with my wife or debate with my wife because I'll just make it the way she wants it done because it looks nice.
Right.
I don't know what I'm doing.
I think mine looks better. But he's like, well, it won't cover my feet because he is a lot taller than me, but you can.
Oh, so this is when you go to bed?
No, this is when we make. Thank you.
What?
Thank you.
What? I'm sorry, Joey. I don't know what I did, but I'm totally sorry.
We're not going to bed. Like when you get in the bed, you can pull them down around your feet, but to make it so it's nice and pretty.
For Scott, the thing in his house is the toilet paper.
So my wife and I, if she refills it, it's always under. And when I refill it, it's always over. And
Goatee.
I'm always having to reverse what she's done and put it over because that's the way, by the way, the toilet paper patent clearly shows it should be placed over.
It's
not
easier
under.
to get that way.
Yes.
So much easier. I'm a goatee guy too, not the mullet.
Oh, yeah. I used to not care. And then all of a sudden one day I was like, it is easier this way. It's definitely over, not under.
Yes.
Definitely.
Thank you.
Yes.
See, now Ninja, she's like mild-mannered, but her sister, you guys get into, I don't say arguments, but she'll like always make a point or something.
She loves to debate, and it's like things about stories from our childhood or the past, and we'll be bringing up the story, and she's like, no, it happened this way, and I'm like, no, it didn't, and then it gets to the point to where I don't care anymore, but she's still going, and I'm like, I'm done, and she goes, no, this is fun, let's keep going. I'm like, no.
She corrects you on your fact about the story,
Yes.
even though you're right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Y'all should
Yeah.
have had debate club with homeschooling, for sure.
She would be the president.
Rob and Lizz.
His morning crew.
I don't know if you've ever been lost when you're on a hike. You get off the trail a little bit. There's this one, Lucas, who went for a hike in Big Basin. That's in North Carolina in the mountains. And he was lost for 10 days. It was like Tuesday of the 11th. He went for a hike. 10 days later, finally found by a drone.
Oh, my goodness. A drone?
Yes.
Oh, my goodness.
So that was a search, and they did a drone, and he saw the drone and started yelling because I think he kind of thought, that's looking for me. And so he started yelling. It heard him, and they were able to find him and get him out where he was lost.
How in the world did he survive for 10 days?
He drank a lot of water,
bet
and
he
he was
did.
eating the berries out in the woods.
So he must know because you can't eat all berries that you find out in the woods. Some of them are poisonous.
Yeah.
So he must have had some working knowledge.
Survival skills?
Yeah.
You would think, especially if he goes out for hikes all the time.
Oh, my goodness, 10 days. I bet. I just can't even imagine just seeing that drone and thinking somebody is actually looking for me. Because I think you have doubts probably at night, like they've totally forgotten me.
After a couple of days goes by, it's like, okay, I'm really lost. They can't even find me because he was going on a 3-hour hike. I don't know how he got off the trail. It can be easy enough because trails are pretty well marked in some of these areas.
Unless you're, he may be that guy that's like, I know this area so well, I'm just going to take off, get off trail. He's probably done it before, didn't have any
Adventurous.
issues.
Yeah, that's
and
true.
then he got caught. But
Yeah.
I'm glad he's back with his family.
Yeah, especially them searching with a drone. Drones, man, I tell you, they've changed the game for a lot of different things.
Right, because you don't need maybe as many volunteers or put other people in danger.
And a big helicopter searching and spending all that gas and
Oh, I
stuff
know,
like
right?
that, how this drone. And he heard it because those things are pretty quiet. So it
Oh,
must have been
yeah.
low enough that he heard that zzz. Yeah, exactly. Wow.